Action.
Hello everybody, my name is Dr. V.V. Satyababu Addanrao, Assistant Professor, Department of Biochemistry, KSR CAS. Today I would like to present about the endocrinology behind the parturition. First, what is parturition? So, the parturition is act of giving birth to the baby, right. So, there are certain hormones plays an important role behind the parturition. So, today we will discuss about that, what are the hormones and how they influence the giving birth to the baby. So, before entering into the parturition, I would like to discuss briefly about the role of hormones which are involved in the pregnancy, right. So, what are the hormones and what is their role? First, we will discuss, right. First, the pregnancy will starts with when sperm met with an egg. So, that will develop an embryo and that will develop and multiplies and divided into blastocyst. Then blastocyst implanted in the uterus. So, this actually takes place in first trimester. Generally, the pregnancy is divided into 3 trimesters, first, second, third. In the first trimester, the implantation will happens, and during this implantation, the beta HCG hormone, beta human chorionic gonadotropin, which is very important hormone for the maintenance of corpus luteum. So, the corpus luteum is the plays a main role for the production of estrogen, progesterone. The estrogen and progesterone are the important hormones which maintains the pregnancy. So, this beta HCG will help to survive the corpus luteum. Actually, when the fertilization not happens, the corpus luteum will start degrading, but when the fertilization happens, the corpus luteum has to be survive until second trimester, because they has to produce estrogen and progesterone, which will helps to the maintenance of pregnancy. So, in the first trimester up to 7th week, the beta HCG will become in the peak stage. So, this will helps to maintain the pregnancy, and in the second trimester, of course, the baby starts growing, and the placenta also plays here an important role. The placenta will produces estrogen and progesterone along with the corpus luteum, and after second trimester, so this beta HCG levels are starts falling, but estrogen and progesterone levels are keep on increasing, because the placenta also producing the estrogen and progesterone. So, which plays an important role in the maintenance of pregnancy. Generally, the estrogen will helps to increases the oxytocin receptors. So, the oxytocin receptors oxytocin will plays an important role during the pregnancy and as well as the parturition, and progesterone plays an important role to relax the uterus muscle, because the during this pregnancy period, the uterus has to be in a relaxed state, because the baby is no need to come out in this stage. So, therefore, if it is contractile, means the baby may be come out. So, this progesterone will inhibits that contraction. So, therefore, the muscles will be smooth. Then in the second trimester, so the corpus luteum starts degrading. So, therefore, the corpus luteum cannot be produce estrogen and progesterone, but placenta will produces the estrogen and progesterone, and beta HCG levels are starts falling. And at the end of the third trimester, all the hormones are start falling. That means, whenever the baby is ready to come out, then these hormones are fallen down, because the delivery has to be takes place. So, that means the parturition has to be takes place. Right. So, why these hormones are fallen down means, so already the baby is completely mature. So, that completely matured means the baby is ready to getting out. So, then next the parturition begins. Now, we will discuss about how the parturition begins and how it will takes place and how the hormones plays an important role. So, how the parturition will start means, actually the fetus will initiate this parturition. The fetus means the baby inside the mother's womb. So, how this fetus will initiate means, once the baby is completely mature, so that fetus will gives a stress, fetal, that is called as a fetal stress. That fetal stress will stimulates the brain of the baby, which is anterior pituitary gland. So, that anterior pituitary gland produces ACTH hormone. ACTH hormone is adrenal corticotrophin hormone. So, this adrenal corticotrophin hormone will stimulates the production of cortisol. So, where the cortisol is released means the baby's kidney. So, that means the baby kidney has the adrenal glands. So, that adrenal glands will produces the cortisol. So, this is in the first step. So, the baby fetal stress will produces the ACTH, and that will gives stimulates the production of cortisol. In the second step, the cortisol will release. So, the cortisol will influence the placenta. Then what will happen, how this cortisol will influence the placenta means, so the placenta will plays an important role here. That will decreases the estrogen and progesterone and increases the prostaglandins. So, that is the reason behind the falling of estrogen and progesterone after 9 months, that means before parturition. So, this placenta will stop synthesizing the estrogen and progesterone, and that will increases the prostaglandins. What is the role of this prostaglandins means? So, these prostaglandins will stretches or gives a contraction to the uterus. So, that means the uterus will get contractile. So, therefore, the baby will comes out. So, it gradually comes out. Then these stretchings, so in the fourth step, so this stretchings will stimulates the sensory fibers which are present in the uterus or cervix region of the mother. Then these sensory fibers will stimulate the hypothalamus of the mother in the fifth step. So, the hypothalamus will get stimulated, and this hypothalamus will start producing the oxytocin. Here the oxytocin plays an important role, which is one of the hormones. Then in the sixth step, the hypothalamus will releases the oxytocin, and the posterior pituitary gland will produces the oxytocin, and that will releases the oxytocin. In the seventh step, the oxygen is released from the posterior pituitary gland. And what is the role of this oxytocin means? So, this oxytocin will gives the contraction of the muscles, and also it produces the more number of prostaglandins. You know, already discussed that prostaglandins plays an important role in the contraction of the uterus mile. So, therefore, the more oxytocin is produced, then prostaglandins also produce. So, that more number of prostaglandins are produced means, so that will keep on stretching that uterus. So, this cycle will continuously takes place. So, therefore, the uterus will keep on stretching until the baby come out. So, once the babies come out, then this process will stops, right. So, this is generally the parturition takes place, but you may have some doubts. Nowadays, the parturition cannot be takes place. Why? Because the lifestyle and food habits today. And earlier, our forefathers and our grandparents, they have a lot of children, and moreover, they give a normal delivery. But nowadays, so the woman is giving delivery through the cesarean, or also called as a C-section. So, this is parturition, this is generally takes place. So, this is traditional birth, the vaginal birth, but the vaginal birth or parturition is nowadays cannot be happen frequently, and 90% of cases are preferred for C-section. Why? What is the reason? What is the reason means? So, there are certain medical reasons behind the preferring of C-section. What are that reasons prefer to go for a cesarean means? First, prolonged labor. So, prolonged labor means, so there are the parturition takes place for long duration. So, in that case the mother cannot be tolerated. In that case, the cesarean will be preferred. Why the prolonged labor will takes place means, the position of the baby. Generally, the head has to be come through the birth canal, then the delivery will be takes place normally. But in case the baby will flip out, so that means the legs maybe comes first, or maybe shoulder maybe comes first. So, these are called breech delivery or transverse delivery. In this case, the normal parturition cannot be takes place. So, therefore, doctors will prefer the C-section. And another one is abnormal positioning. As I told, the baby will position is abnormal. That means either legs will comes first instead of head, or maybe shoulder comes first instead of head. So, in that case, so the normal delivery may be risk, and that will help to the life of the mother. Therefore, the doctors will prefer the C-section. And the fetal distress. The fetal distress means, so whenever the baby is don't have access of sufficient oxygen, and in that case the doctors will prefer the C-section. And the birth defects. So, when the baby has the birth defects, so generally C-section will prefer, because the normal delivery maybe affects the life of the baby. And the chronic health condition. So, if the mother has the chronic conditions, for example, the mother has the hypertension, and mother have the cardiovascular diseases, or mother have the gestational diabetes. So, in that case, so because the parturition is the very complicated process and is painful process. So, in that case, so that mother cannot be tolerate such conditions. So, therefore, the C-section will be preferred. And another one is cord prolapse. Cord prolapse means, so the umbilical cord, so which supplies the oxygen to the baby. So, generally the baby will comes out, then umbilical cord will comes later. So, generally normal parturition. But in case in abnormal conditions, the umbilical cord will comes first and baby will stays inside. So therefore, the baby cannot access the proper oxygen. So that will lead to death of the baby. So in that case, the C-section will be preferred. And if the mother carrying multiple babies, so that means they may be twins or more than two. So in that case, the normal parturition may not be takes place. So these are the reasons behind the preferring the C-section. So medical reasons. Other than this, nowadays the food habits and the physical activity and the lifestyle. So that leads to a sedentary lifestyle leads to a preferring the C-section generally. And so that's all about the parturition. And before concluding this parturition, I also would like to discuss about the endocrinology behind the lactation. The lactation means the giving a milk or feed to the baby. So this is it is nature process that will develops a baby, healthy baby, and as well as the that also attracts the mother and a baby, that will creates a love between the baby and mother, because certain hormones plays an important role. That hormones will briefly discuss. See, we are all mammals, that means human beings are mammals, because the mother can feed the baby through the milk. So that means the mother have the mammary glands. So the mother in the breast, the mother has the mammary glands. So that mammary glands will secrete the milk, and that milk can be drink by the baby. Right. So how this milk will produce, and how the baby can stimulates the production of milk. So that we will discuss today. And so during the pregnancy, the estrogen and progesterone, as we will told in the endocrinology of the pregnancy, the estrogen and progesterone will release it by the placenta and as well as the corpus luteum. Actually, this estrogen and progesterone makes the mother ready for the development of the motherhood characters, such as production of milk. So this estrogen and progesterone will helps to synthesis of prolactin. The prolactin is the one of the hormone which plays an important role in the secretion of the or synthesis of the milk, and as well as the oxytocin plays an important role in the release of the milk. And how these hormones will plays an important role in the lactation means, see, whenever the baby starts suckling the nipples of the mother's breast, that nipples have the sensory fibers. That sensory fibers will receive the signal. That means once a baby is suckling, then the sensory fibers will receive that signal. That receives signals, that the signals will be transferred to the hypothalamus of the mother. Then hypothalamus and posterior pituitary gland will releases the oxytocin and the prolactin. Then this prolactin will reaches to the mother's breast and the mammary glands, and in the mammary glands alveoli cells are responsible for the production of milk. So this prolactin will stimulate these alveoli cells, and the cells will start secreting the milk, and immediately the oxytocin also releases, and this oxytocin will squeeze out the milk into the ducts, and the duct collect the milk, and that will reaches to the nipples, and therefore the baby can drink that milk. So this is how the milk is produced in the mother's breast. So as far as baby suckling the nipples, then the oxytocin and prolactin are synthesizing, and the oxytocin and prolactins are responsible for the milk. And moreover this milk production, so this oxytocin, that will helps to oxytocin, also known as a love hormone, so that also will helps to generate or creates love between, or affection or emotion between the mother and the baby. That is the reason why the newborn baby is fed to the mother. That will develop a motherhood character, and as well as the baby can recognize that she is my mother. And so this is the endocrinology behind the parturition, pregnancy, and the lactation. So thank you very much. And we have discussed about the endocrinology behind the parturition, pregnancy, and the lactation. In another video, we will discuss and in detail discuss about the endocrinology behind the menstrual cycle. Thank you so much.